Yo, What is up, everyone? Welcome back. This is day number 2, the final day of the Tier 8 Summer Smash. Again, this is a community tournament hosted by the SIGYN League and Copenhagen Destroyer, who is organizing it, also the leader of that clan. This was a 8-team invitational. Everyone's playing in a 7v7 Tier 8 in training rooms. Yesterday we had an 8-team double elimination bracket. I will pull it up for you right here. This was a nice double elimination bracket. We started off with Kraken, Y-Wing, X-Wing, CCRS, Prevail, Lux, SIGYN, EXE. So the matches that we watched, we started off watching SIGYN, EXE, then Kraken, CCRS. We dropped down to check out, I think it was X-Wing, CCRS. We checked out Lux, Prevail a little bit, CCRS, Prevail. And yeah, we watched a lot of games yesterday. It was a lot of fun, though. Most of them ended in a tiebreaker or went very close, so it was actually a very good time. Yo, Sinbrin, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, man. Very kind, very kind. But yeah, yesterday we actually bounced around so much. We were able to catch 7 of the 8 teams in the tournament at one point or another over the course of the tournament, which is really nice. Unfortunately, you did not get to watch Y-Wing. They went down to Kraken and then to X-Wing. And I was not able to watch them play, which is unfortunate. I was hoping to catch all 8 teams if possible, but just kind of the way the cookie crumbles, it wasn't really feasible to be able to do that. But yeah, things were fun. I enjoyed yesterday's sets. They were all pretty close for the most part. They were all competitive, no blowouts. And yeah, so today we've got the last 3 teams. We've got Kraken versus EXE up top. They are going to be playing this first set. The loser is going to go down and play Prevail, who beat CCRS to make top 3. So the loser of this set will go down to play Prevail. These are both going to be best of 7s, and then the winner of both of those games will play each other for the grand finals to see who is crowned the champion. There is a prize pool for this tournament, 2,500 gold per person. That's 22.5k for the entire team. And Wargaming is hosting the is funding the prize pool, which is really nice. So they're actually providing the prizes. SIGYN organizing it, and Wargaming provided the prizes. So very good stuff. And yeah, I hope that you guys are excited for it. We're probably just about ready to get started. I'm gonna go ahead, go to just chatting, make sure that the room is ready. And yeah, looks like things are fine. It looks like EXE is readied up, Kraken is mostly readied up. And the set is due to start right now. This is going to be a best of 7 set. We can go ahead and show in the trading room, actually. We've got Canal for games 1 and 2, Ghost Factory for 3 and 4, Desert Sands for 5 and 6 if it comes down to it, and Rockfield as a tiebreaker. So we're just going to go ahead and get right back into it. I did not update the scoreboard, so let me do that. Kraken on the left and EXE on the right. Forgot about that. Sorry, those logos were wrong at the start as well. Update icons. There we go. Alright, and here we are, guys. We're just going to get right on into it. Oopsie on the logos. But we're good here in Canal, a very fun map. We're going to be opening things up on this one. We've got double FV301, very interestingly, for EXE. Double Barask for Kraken. They're sending them both towards the D side. Rick Astley going to go for a quick A crossing here, but getting spotted by those double sharks could get hit pretty hard here. Does get hit. Those double FE301s shooting their guns, but not yet lit. They will be able to tear that 53 TP up for sure. Lots of firepower out here for EXE. All 7 tanks very aggressive. Huge shots into Homo Panzer. The FE301s are now spotted in the corner here. They're going to be tearing Rick Astley apart. All those sharks need to do is keep spotting. Yep, down goes Homo Panzer to Dragon. The double lights do cap the A base and get the kill at the same time, so very quick opening aggression from EXE. 2 kills on the Kraken team already. They're up almost 3,000 hit points, 2 guns, and the bases, of course. Are they just going to continue their push through? Looks like no. The FE301s are rotating back, so they're not going to be over-aggressing right now. Those sharks are putting pressure up front. The 53 TPs have driven forward. They've gotten pressured from the Barasks as well as the Tornwagen. And it looks like the Barasks actually have shots. They are hitting Luis and Dragon over there as they take the sea base, and now those sharks aren't looking too healthy. Dragon has pushed up a little too far forward. If he stayed hull down there, he might have been fine, but the SMV is able to pick up that kill. It does have the angle there, so a little bit of an overextension from EXE. Now all of a sudden they're 3,000 hit point lead has completely been pulled away. Saul Goshira starting to bleed a little bit. In comes Velocity, double tapping Saul there, and now all of a sudden those FE301s are taking a lot of damage. They're going to get in here on these Barasks as EXE pushes into Legion 204, but are they going to be able to pick up the kill in time? Death is about to reload. He's trying to go for a body block, but Saul missing the shot. Absolutely needed to hit that one. He does put that one in and is able to survive, but Death is reloading now. Goshira should be able to pick that up. The tanks in the center have gone down to EXE. They're going to push on Commander Kalabar now, but look at Luis Games taking some big hits here. Kalmar actually is able to get the kill, 2 in the Type 57, able to cover him there. Now, Death does put 2 shots into Goshira there, had the full clip for it, but unfortunately not enough alpha damage to finish the job. Goshira just needs to hit a couple shots here, back away from the Barask, just don't be missing these here, and he should be okay. Get that shot in just in time, able to do it. KOA was there to help out, but now it's a 3-on-1. Kaposhta's healthy. 2 does have the opportunity to get 2 kills over there, but not going to be very easy to do that with this 53 TP on his rear, and he's backing up to look this way instead of focusing on trying to get those kills. Not that it would have been easy for him to do so, but really that was the only condition that he had to win this game. Goshira has been able to run away. He's going to step into the D base, no problem here, and 2 is not going to have an opportunity to bring this one back. Caps are going to quickly be in the favor of EXE. Ooh, missed shot there from Kaposhta. 2 is still looking for the kill, but Goshira's got a crossfire. Nice shot from 2, though. Gets the kill. He's reloading now, though, and Goshira should have this one. No problem. And that's going to be game 1 going to EXE. Looks like Kaposhta snuck the kill in there. These 2 teams, by the way, are undefeated. This is the winner's side finals for the bracket, as we saw earlier. Both of these teams are undefeated. Kraken defeated Y-Wing and then CCRS to make it here, and EXE defeated SIGYN and Prevail. So both of them have made it here. And yeah, that is going to be game 1. Going for Team EXE, you can see Goshira up top. 3,500 damage, that's a lot for this game here. Absolutely very nicely done from them. Those double FE301s did put in work, even though one of them did get picked off eventually. We'll go back to the training room. Hopefully the scoreboard and everything looks good now. Okay, we're good. But spawns will swap now. Now, Kraken was the #1 seed based off of win rates of all of the players. EXE was the #2 seed, so it is fitting that they both end up here in the winner's side finals, but EXE taking that first game. And this time, Kraken will have the south spawn. We'll see what they do. They're keeping those double Barasks, but not quite doing the same exact thing that was done in the south spawn last game. They're not just going to be both rushing towards the A side. They're doing a little bit of a split play for information. Sorry. Had a little bit of a frog in my throat there. Double FE301 again, though, for EXE. They do get rid of one of their sharks, though, as well as one of the 53s. They've got 2 252Us capping B, going for a very quick B grab. Dragon again in the shark, going to be driving very far forward, but he takes a lot of bleeds this time on the crossing. Kraken was ready for it. They've got double SMVs for this game. Actually, yeah, double SMVs, but Mopanzer does take a lot of shots. He is now only on 500 HP. Not pretty for them. EXE going to reinforce Dragon there with one of their 53 TPs and crossfire into Kraken, who's mostly set up in the town here. Town is not a very easy place to hide yourself in. Unfortunately, they are taking a lot of damage. If you look around here, these buildings are all very awkward, lots of spacing in between them, and very difficult to keep yourself safe. You can see 2 Legend 204 Rick Astley are all getting bled out pretty hard here. Big shots into Rick Astley, who is now tracked. Doesn't seem to have a repair kit, and Goshira might be going for the permatrack here. He might have it as well. He is still tracking him. Dragon puts in a shot, and Goshira with the kill. Beautiful play there from EXE, Goshira in particular, with an amazing permatrack at that distance with the tank that's not the most accurate at long range. Very well played, and they're absolutely dominating this second game here. Again, with a huge HP lead, this time 4,000. Last game we saw, it did get pretty close in the HP in the mid and end game, but We'll see. Maybe they've learned from it, won't be nearly as aggressive this time around. They're just going to hold on to their advantage. They have the cap lead, they have a tank lead, and there's no reason for them to over-aggress. Kraken do find Kaposhta here, who is isolated. Velocity and Death are both going to try to put their clips in. Death is going to put his in now. He'll take a hit for it, though, if he decides to push. And it looks like EXE is going to rotate back to help. The 252U's coming in just to kind of cut those Barasks off from the rest of their team. Atreides picking up the kill on Homo Panzer, and now double 53 TP going to be pushing in here on these Barasks. Everyone from this team is spotted, everyone from the Kraken team, so EXE can just do what they like. FE301s and the Shark are just taking their time. They would like to get into the fight soon. The HP lead from EXE is again pretty low. Death is going to try to HP share for KOA. Actually makes him miss the shot, maybe having to do with the mobile auto-aim reticle. Luis missing the shot, Saul missing the shot. Unfortunately for EXE, not quite able to pick up the kill on Velocity yet. He is going to be able to run away. They'll deal with Death, though, no problem, and there's plenty of HP on Luis, Saul, Goshira, Dragon to clean up these kills here. So they have a 2000 HP lead, doubling Kraken right now. They're going to pick up a kill. Another one. Goshira should have Kalmar in a moment. No Dragon's going to have it. And we might see a 7-0 on this next game here, too. Trying to look for a kill in KOA. Isn't going to get it. Saul and Goshira going to farm him from the rear. And now it's just Death, who was barely able to defy Death earlier with all those missed shots. But now he might get one kill. Yep, avoiding the 7-0. But that's going to be all for Kraken this game. And EXE with a clean 2-0 lead. Absolutely sweeping on Canal here. This set a lot less close than the ones that we saw yesterday. It was good stuff. Welcome everyone in the chat. We got Van Leeroth, Mermelin, Goss from YouTube. Best of luck, EXE Kraken. Appreciated, man. Rob's here as well. Much love. Voller and Beauty129. Welcome, welcome. Will you following the Losers Battle Final? Yes, I'll be watching all the rest of the sets. There are only 3 more games, and there's going to be none in parallel, so they'll all be one after the other, so I'll have time to watch all of them, thankfully. Yesterday, there were a lot of sets running at the same time, so I couldn't watch everybody, but today, we'll be able to watch all of the remaining games. Again, this is Winners Finals. The loser of this is not out of it yet. They'll play against Prevail for a chance to qualify back into Grands. So that's how we're rocking it today. We'll be moving on to our next map, Ghost Factory. And Kraken definitely needs to equalize here. They need to win some games if they want to have a competitive chance at the set. Going down 3-0 would not be fun. This is a best of 7, so first to 4 wins. And Kraken's not out of it yet, but they better hope to lock in now. EXE is not messing around with their tank selection. You know, they've got a very select few number of tanks that they know work well. That's what they played yesterday. Lots of Sharks, 53 TPs, FE301s. Some sent 5-1s, which we're yet to see today. And I believe a K2 or 2 of them as well. Kraken does like the Barasks. They're still running double every game, but hasn't worked for them yet today. We'll move directly into game number 3 here. Kraken, they'll keep 153 TP, but not quite adapting to running a bunch of them like EXE likes to do. They've sticking to their own strats. They've got a Tornvon Action 10, 53 TP, a bunch of different heavy tanks. Double SMV as well, which again, I think they're great tanks. Kraken's issue seems to be that they're bleeding a lot in the early game. And EXE has is doing a very good job of their opening games, you know, getting those early bleeds in. Now Kraken slightly splitting off one of their Barasks from the rest of the team, but other than that, both teams are pretty heavily going into the D corner. Also, I didn't notice this, there's actually 2 K2s from EXE. They both get right into the B base. This is not a good early start here for Kraken. Losing a lot of HP in their medium tank in the early game is not what you want to do. And now he has to fight against Dragon, who is hauled down in a very good haul-down tank. He will have no problem putting in more damage. Kaposhta missing the shot into death, though. That could have spelled disaster if he hit that. Would be leaving him on a fraction of his hit points, but Death is stuck here, and Kraken's kind of boxed in. They've put themselves all around here. Velocity taking the A base, but still going to be very difficult. EXE is completely pushed through the factory, so they have that front locked on. Dragon is taking a few hits. Kraken has brought their heavies in, and 2 and Legend should be able to push on him. Dragon missing that shot. Legend being not afraid to peek up there and put that shot in, but Homopanzer's getting bled out himself. Kraken need to take the advantage where they can. Looks like Velocity is going to try to get into the rear of the K2s over on this side. They are both getting pushed right here. Sol is much lower, and Velocity does have the rear. Bouncing one of the shots, though. That's not good. Hits the second, but he's getting low. 2's getting bled out pretty heavily. Looks like the 53 TP's countering in, but EXE does pick off a tank in the corner there, but they do lose to themselves, and at the moment Kraken is looking a little bit better here in the HP. Velocity should be able to help out against Atreides over there. EXE does have the advantage in the D corner. It's a 2-on-1, kind of a 3-on-1, but KOA is not really looking anymore. But if Homopanzer can get himself in here, use his HP to take a hit for death, or Velocity could get in there as well, it would be very good. They put in their shots, Death has the kill, and now Legend's holding on against these guys. He'll be fine. Maybe even able to put one more shot into Luis. That would be really nice. No, not able to do it. Goshira coming in to support. He takes a big hit. And yeah, I think it's going to go to Kraken. They're going to finally put themselves on the scoreboard with their first win of the day. I was a little bit nervous with their start there. Death took a lot of hits at the beginning. That's not what you want to have in the Barask, but EXE pushed on all of their fronts. They had tanks in the corner. They had tanks in the factory, and they weren't really able to sustain it everywhere. Kraken ended up turning back around into the factory. We had Velocity in the Barask having the rear of those tanks and was able to put some damage in, giving Kraken the advantage, which they converted into a win. Very nice game 3, and we're not seeing any sweeps in this first set here. Kraken going to look to equalize with a game 4 win as well. We'll see if they're able to pull it off. Will they keep the double Barask? They've been running it quite a bit today. One of them readies up. Death not entirely sure yet. Maybe he's getting told off for bleeding in the early game. No, I'm just kidding. He runs it. I like it. I like it. And we're seeing an identical lineup from Kraken. All of their players keeping the same tanks. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I suppose it worked last game. Maybe it'll work again. You can kind of do a symmetrical play in D. If you want to go A, you know, maybe you would switch things up a little bit, but I'm guessing that if they're running the same tanks, they're probably going D again. EXE making a little bit of a change. Not a huge one. They've got 353 TPs, only one K2. No, they got rid of one. They've got 2 Sharks. And Goshira again in the FE301, which I like the tank. I think it's a good pick. Very good DPM, even though the alpha damage isn't too high. It's got very good reload, very good pen as well, which means that you can afford to run rammer on this tank, making the DPM even higher. Now he is going to run into Velocity potentially. He has support though. Sol is coming. EXE is going back into the factory, but not quite from the D side of things. Rather from the A side. Goshira taking an early position here to spot Kraken coming on the side. He doesn't detect anything other than Velocity there. They spot each other. Will he put the shot in? He does. Great shot. Dodging one from Velocity as well. But immediately we're seeing a big push here from EXE. They've got the triple 53 TPs lined up here. No, not all 3 of them are quite present. Sol missing his shot. He's a little further back. But yeah, Rick Astley's taken some big damage here, and he's only driving into the giant onslaught of EXE tanks. Definitely out of place there, and EXE should be very quick to punish that. And the rest of Kraken is all the way back by the D corner. Death finally grabbing the base, but I don't think this game's coming down to bases, unfortunately, for Kraken. They have hung a tank out to dry, and instead of Rick Astley pushing back with the rest of his team, he pushed further forward and unfortunately got himself in even more of a pickle. Now Velocity is also pretty isolated here. Sol is going to come in, put in another shot. Death's going to try to hunt down Goshira, which I would imagine Velocity should do as well. He's wasting a little bit of time hanging around Sol there. Not what you want to do. That's a tank you want to avoid, but Goshira has gotten himself out of the way now. Sol is able to put another shot into Velocity. Goes for an HE, doesn't pen it though. The only advantage Kraken has right now are the bases. Everything else not looking too great for them. Now the Brasks could turn around and go for Sol here, but Velocity's looking elsewhere, going for the kill and go Shira. I don't dislike that play. It's fine. He will go down to Dragon though, so unfortunately he was traded out there, and Kraken is going to still be down a tank at the end of this. Death is isolated. It's a 2-on-1 with him here. So if Kraken's able to pull something off over in the heavy side, it would be good, but they need to do it quickly. Tornvog and SMVs are coming in. They get a kill on KOA. Kalmar also helping out. Huge fire into Kaposhta, who should go down quickly. Kalmar does get picked off. 2 not able to find the kill, so the Tornvagen will get it instead. Homopanzer are going to try to cover 2 with a shot into Luis Games. Does hit it, and 2 just needs to pump out as much DPM as he can before he goes down. No, he misses the shot. A high roll would have been enough to kill, but he survives. 204 is able to pick up the kill, and it's a 3-on-2 all of a sudden to the Action 10. Is very low on HP. Sorry, it's a 4-on-2. I didn't even see him in the side menu just because of how low he was. A lot of HP to chew through still, but you have 4 guns left in the game to be able to do so. That Barask able to float behind for free, no problems at all. Put those shots in. Homopanzer will have a big one in here, and if 2 can hunt the kill down, that would be good. Not able to hit it there, but right now they're just holding on against Atreides. 2 does get the kill, and now it's just Atreides left. Somehow, Kraken holding on there. They did what they needed to do. Pushed in the factory when they saw there was a mismatch. EXE put 2 tanks onto trying to kill the Barask, and unfortunately they didn't even get to do that. Death is still alive here. Runs into the wall trying to go for this. Very nice driving. I'm sorry, Death, that I had to watch you do that. And missing the shot too. It's okay, you get the kill there. But yeah, EXE put 2 tanks on him. Weren't even able to pick him up. And that meant that Kraken had equal footing in the factory, which they converted into a win. So very nicely done. And just like that, Kraken have equalized, and we are back to a tied set, 2 games apiece. Again, best of 7, but we are going to be moving on to our next map, Desert Sands. Things are going to be switched up. Looks like Kraken starts with the north spawn. And EXE with the south. Pretty cool. So catastrophic. EXE is going hard with the 53 TP spam. Oh man. No, they're switching things up a bit. Fair enough. I mean, I don't dislike the 53 TP spam. The tank is very good, very difficult to defeat. But it seems like 252Us are what they like on this map. Running at least 2, maybe even 3. No, they're spamming the 53s. I like it. They're going to have a very good town presence, and the tank's not even that bad in the hills either. They're going to run 4 of them with 2 252Us. Those might take the center. Not entirely clear to me. Still double Barask for Kraken, and as much as I like the Barask, I don't know if it's the play on this map. There's a lot of hills, and the Barask isn't really like a hill fighter, but they also have Ascent 5-1 as well, so that's really interesting. They have got a very soft lineup with 3 mediums. Not to say that the Ascent 5-1 itself is soft, because it's got very good armor, but in terms of hit points, very low. They're not going to be able to take a push very easily here, and all of these 53 TPs for EXE, they're just going to be pushing and pushing. Now, Death could be in trouble here. He's just kind of sitting in the center. Could get hit pretty hard if he drives further forward, so he's got to be very careful here. EXE is looking to line that up. But he does get unspotted. Kraken is taking an early aggressive position here in A, and that could be bad. Look at him. He's already facing 253 TPs at FE301. The 252Us are coming from the middle. And Kraken's taking their sweet time. Look at all of their tanks still back here. The 53 TP, the Sharks. This is really scary if you're Kraken. They just straight up got shoved and weren't ready to deal with it. They pushed way too far forward with their mediums. And the heavies just, they're still like back. Like they have not joined the fight yet. They got bled out way too much. Velocity trying to run away. He gets picked as well. And that's tricky, man. Kraken just overextended. They didn't commit. And EXE had the forces to do it. All you need is like W key with 53 TPs, 252Us, and hope that the enemy don't hit all of their shots, right? They've got so many mediums, tanks that typically have lower pen than a heavy. A lot more difficult for them to pen all of their shots right away. And yeah, EXE just straight up W keyed onto them, and they've got a huge advantage now because of it. They've got both of the bases, A and B here. They've got a nice push onto Kalmar, picking up that kill. Goshira taking some damage for it, but EXE has the hit points to spare. And Kraken's just getting absolutely obliterated this game. They're trying to claw it back, but there's really nothing for them to do here. It is a 3,000 plus HP deficit, and even though they do pick up their first kill on Luis, you know, EXE still has several tanks with plenty of hit points. Dragon's on 1,300. Atreides is full HP. And yeah, Goshira's just kind of sending it at this point, putting some DPM into Rick Astley. Kind of blocking the shot for Saul, though, but he backs up just enough to give him that. And KOA picks up the kill just like that. Death and the last tanks left alive. Goshira's going to hunt Death down, not allow him to run away like he likes to do sometimes. Picks up the kill. And yeah, that's going to be game number 5. Going in favor of EXE, just having a much more organized push. They all went together. Kraken just overextended with their mediums. They thought that, you know, since the enemy only had one light tank, that they could, you know, take the advantage in the hills, but they didn't have enough support from their heavies to hold those positions and ended up just getting deleted. That's tough. But it happens. And it did indeed happen to Kraken for game 5 here. Now, will we see the tiebreaker? Kraken has a chance to equalize, but they're going to have to play a lot smarter if they want to do that. It's very difficult to outplay a 53 TP 252U spam push. You know, that's not an easy lineup to combat. But we might be seeing some good combatant tanks. We've got double Carnarvon potentially. I like the Carnarvon. Great brawling tank. Very good for fighting against, you know, this lineup. You just take Carnarvons and just DPM the hell out of the enemy. Very doable. The problem with the Carnarvon is going to be the pen. Penning those 252Us will be tricky. 53 TP. The armor isn't that thick if you just engage with it frontally, so you should be fine there. Of course, it's used mostly for its gun and its side-scraping abilities. It's pretty good at that overall. Got a solid turret as well, but if you're straight up brawling one, the Carnarvon should be alright. You know, it's got very, very high DPM, as I've previously been stated. They are going to run at least one. We'll see if Velocity picks his as well. But I do like how Kraken are going away from the Barasks. I just don't think it's the play on Desert Sands. You don't really have the space or the time to use it or the cover. So it makes sense to me that they're switching out, and I'm glad that they are. They are taking their time lining up, though. EXE's already picked their tanks. There's very similar lineup, just swapping out for an extra 252. But yeah, Kraken is coming up with a plan. I don't know if they have strats ahead of time. It seems like they might not if they're just taking so long to pick all the tanks that they need. But who knows? Who knows? But 2 Carnarvons at least. Two Carnarvons, 2 Sharks, a Tornvon Action 10, and an FE301. So both teams will have an FE301. Seems like Kraken is finally adapting to that, accepting that that's a very good tank to have. Hopefully Homo Panzer doesn't bleed early in the game with this tank. That'd be bad for Kraken, of course, as they are on match point here. But I will say I do like the Kraken lineup of having many hull-down tanks that will be very, very good for fighting in these areas. Now, interestingly, both teams do spawn with a heavy tank in the dunes. I will say, of all of the hull-down tanks that Kraken has, Carnarvon is not going to be a good one. That tank is not good for fighting hull-down just because it has no armor. That turret's easily going to be pennable by every single tier 8 on the enemy team. But the point of that tank is not to be like a hull-down holder, right? The point of that thing is to just shove it into the brawl and have a shit ton of DPM, which is exactly what the Carnarvons have. It looks like Kraken is being a lot more organized here with their positioning. They're putting good pressure into the 252Us from EXE that did take the middle like I expected. And while, of course, they are bleeding a little bit here, looks like, yeah, the Carnarvon is taking some beating here. Kraken is going to push a little bit further forward with the rest of their tanks. Now, they are keeping the FE301 a little bit further back. He did take some opening bleeds, but I do like Kraken's positioning in the center here. I will say, though, this Carnarvon spot, a little bit sus. You need to have good cover where you're using this tank because it does not have armor. You're seeing he's just getting penned all in the turret, all in the hull here. There is no armor on this tank, and KOA going to hit yet another shot. I will say this one not being used very well for the Kraken team, and he is going to be pushed here. And Homo Panzer, though, taking 2 big hits as Velocity gets picked down. Very good focus fire from EXE, recognizing that target and rotating all the way to it. I will say, Kraken still has the hit points here. They can bring it back, but Homo Panzer's incredibly low. He does get picked off by Luis Games. Great shot there. And Kraken are now losing the HP. They have 2 tanks deficit. Death Legend are both incredibly low. Hopefully they can get the kill on Kaposha. They do pick it up, but they lost their 3rd tank, their Legend. Things are not looking good for the Kraken team, and they might be delivered their first loss of the tournament here. Goshira using the FE301 expertly. They're sneaking around, getting that kill. No, he's not going to survive this engagement, but he was able to pick up the kill that he needed. And actually, no, EXE focus fires so well that they kill 2 before he's able to turn around and get the kill. And unfortunately, for the Kraken team, they are going to go down here. They do pick up the kill in Goshira, but yeah, it's not going to be enough for them, unfortunately. 5 tanks left. Kalmar's not going to be able to clutch it up. And the EXE will move on to Grand Finals for the Tier 8 Summer Smash. Congratulations to them on a very well played set. These last 2 games just completely W-keying Kraken and breaking through all of the, the fortresses that they had set up. I will say I liked the lineup from Kraken. I think it could have done them well, but they had to position those Carnarvons a lot more carefully. Because the one that they put in the middle there, Velocity, you need to have cover in that tank. It's not a hull-down fighter. You're not going to be able to survive any hits in that tank. It's got no armor to be found. And as you can see, yeah, big difference. Rick Astley on top in his Carnarvon, 2,077 damage. You can pump that shit out effortlessly. But when you're in a bad position like Velocity was, very unfortunate 0 damage there from him. Homo Panzer as well. Not able to utilize the 301 in the same manner as Goshira, who played an excellent set, I must say. So congrats to EXE for qualifying to the Grand Finals for the Tier 8 Summer Smash. I am going to await more information for the next set, which will be in a few minutes, I suppose. And yeah. Don't know how long we're going to be delaying in between each set, but it is indeed beginning soon, hopefully. Not too much delay in between. Maybe a few minutes so that Kraken can prepare for the next set, but hopefully not too long. Just read in my Discord right now, checking everything out. Looking for information. What's up, checkmate? We'll just keep chilling, I suppose. But yeah, I hope that you guys are doing well today. Let's go back to just chatting, I suppose. Why not? Also, Salty81, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Again, if you guys are just tuning in, we're covering the SIGYN Tier 8 Summer Smash, a community-led tournament. This is the bracket. We watched several sets yesterday. Kraken EXE we just watched. This is not going to be updated live, unfortunately. We're not going to have like an update with the scores, but Kraken went down 4-2. EXE did win that set, so they move on to Grand Finals. Kraken drops down to play Prevail. In the lower finals, these teams have not seen each other yet, so excited to see how they do. And yeah, that will be up next. Another best of 7. I don't know what the maps are going to be yet, but I'm sure they will be posted. Yeah, that's the bracket so far. I've been pinged. Oh, I do have an updated bracket. Okay, that's fine though. Yeah, we'll just hang out for now. Haven't received any info in the next set. I can play like a replay or something maybe. In the meantime, we could do that. Replays. What am I looking for? Leopard 1 Alpine stat. Hey! Thank you for the 1,000 bits, Salty. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. A $10 donation. I have my alerts muted at the moment just to not be distracted from when I'm streaming tournament games, but thank you so much for the bits. That's awesome, and I really appreciate it. Is this Salty from Void? Because I know someone with a similar username in game. And it probably is you, but maybe it's not. It could be something completely different, but thank you for that. Also, Digi, welcome to the stream. Yeah, let's just play a replay. I don't know when this next set's starting, so go ahead and throw that on the screen. If I have to cancel it, then so be it. But I did get boss this game. I was platooning with Sync. Syncs and I are always playing together when boss mode comes out. But yeah, we had a nice game here. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on Discord. Oh, I've been pinged. Lower bracket final. Cool, cool. And yeah, just putting this replay on for you guys. I do enjoy platooning into Big Boss. I do hate playing this mode solo. Playing this mode solo feels like a coin flip almost every game, but if you can play with a platoon mate or two, like I eventually got a triple shortly after this game, it's just so good for cranking out wins. Like, I think we lost once the entire day. We played like 20 games or something like that. My Kraken was better. Kraken, they played alright. They had an unfortunate position that they took with one of their Carnarvons, but they did fine. You know, they've got a chance to redeem themselves. Also, this is not a professional tournament, right? These guys are not all pro players. This is a casual tournament, and it's tier 8, so, you know, don't expect professional play from everybody. You know, this is just here for enjoyment. It's community organized. Also, look at that beautiful gravity that someone put up there to save me while this guy tried to push me and put damage in. And he rage quit, by the way. He rage quit after this. He didn't even put like 1,000 damage into me, and he got full health. Yeah, barely like 1,000 damage. And so we're absolutely just destroying them this game. What's up? Welcome to the stream, Nick. Good to have you. So yeah, so far we're already up to 10,000 damage. We're having ourselves a game here. Not too shabby. The EXE is the best. They are doing pretty well. They're looking great today. But a very good start. They're just bum rushing with 252Us. 53 TPs, having some good FE301 gameplay as well. Negotiator's been doing a really good job with that. And yeah, I'm happy to see some good FE301 gameplay. I've always believed that was one of the best tanks in Tier 8, and I'm glad to see it's getting representation. That used to be the tank that when I played ratings a lot, I would always do my qualifying battles in the FE301. So I probably have a few ratings camos on that tank. It's a very fun one. Yeah, we're getting some damage here. Being the boss in Leopard is so fun because the DPM is just so ridiculous. And Saul, thank you for the follow, Saul. Welcome to the stream. Kraken gonna have to come through losers bracket. Yeah, they have a chance though. They're not out of it. It's a double elimination. They'll be playing against Prevail. I think Prevail lost to Kraken yesterday. No, they lost to EXE yesterday. So Prevail and Kraken have not yet played. So this will be a new matchup. I accidentally minimized the game, sorry. I didn't realize that it would close it out on the tab. Yeah, at this point I was just getting bored and I'm like, I'm gonna push in the enemy spawn. Smoked that 704, he thought he could sneak into me. Nah, not happening, buddy. But yeah, their boss rage quit after that first life because we absolutely demolished him. Somehow he hit that shot. Never heard of community tournaments. Yeah, they get run. SIGYN has hosted a couple of them. There used to be a lot more back in the day, like 2016, 2015, 2017, like those days. There was a thing called CWNA, which was huge, had like hundreds of teams, literally hundreds of teams that would all participate. Back then the community was a lot larger. That's what I was trying to say. I kind of stuttered my words there. Community was a lot larger, more passionate, and generally like had a lot more excitement in playing the game. So we literally had hundreds of teams that would participate in many different tiers. Tier 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We had leagues for basically every single tier. It was incredible. I was a umpire back then, and I was on the inner council, helped organize it. Not on the inner council, the inner circle, not the council. I want to make that clear. I was not a council member. But yeah, unfortunately haven't had a lot of big stuff in a while. There's not the same passion in the community anymore. But, you know, it's still nice to have these events, and Wargaming actually has been generous enough to fund the prize pool for this, so it's been very nice. It looks like they have some, they're giving a little bit of time to prepare. We'll be good to join the room in a sec. But yeah, the end of this game, not too interesting. They've got an AFK boss, so I'm literally just trying to farm out as much damage as I can. If I kill their boss, then the game ends. So I'm like, maybe I'll shoot some other people to get some damage out. Which ended up being a good idea. Getting completely farmed by the enemy team, but it's fine. Launch that guy. Which, by the way, look where he ends up. Good meme. But unfortunately, I don't get to put much into him. Game ends. And yeah, I don't know if you were paying attention to the damage counter increasing, but we did hit 40k at the end. Yeah. Wargaming endorses this. Wouldn't it be more beneficial in a smaller tournament giving this much gold? I mean, this is a smaller tournament, and yeah, 2.5k gold per person. Not huge, but it's something. Alright, let's go to the room. I don't see the pass. Okay, I see it. Alright, we're good. I should probably go to just chatting. Don't want to show it ahead of time. But we got Kraken on the left and Prevail on the right. Yeah, we still got a few minutes until the set starts. Seeing some interesting stuff. I don't know if it's finalized yet because the tanks aren't rated up, but some very interesting lineups here. By the way, this is another best of 7 set that we're going to have here. The maps are going to be Alpenstadt, Oasis, Black Goldville, and Port Bay. So we're starting to repeat maps here. We saw Black Goldville on day 1, one of the first maps that we saw. Maybe it was the first map we saw. But we're running out of maps, so it's understandable. And they're pretty much all played on summer maps here. I don't know if we've seen any winter maps. They're kind of going with the summer theme, which is pretty cool. Oh, that is you. Okay, word. Well, yeah, welcome to the stream, man. It's good to have you. Yeah, in the past, Wargaming has been open to sponsoring several community organized tournaments. There aren't that many that are run anymore, but in general, Wargaming's usually been open to supporting them. Usually only after they can verify the reputation of these organizers. SIGYN's hosted several of these before, so Wargaming's more than happy to work with them. But if it's your first time hosting a tournament, don't expect to get pricing right away. Usually it involves running a few of your own and then kind of, having your reputation make its way to Wargaming. That way they can kind of see that, you're reputable, you're being honest, you're not taking the gold and giving it to your friends, you're being honest and that sort of thing. So it's pretty cool. I'm happy with it. I have tried working with Wargaming in the past for my own thing. There's still opportunity for it to happen in the future, but communication wasn't really the best, so that's kind of a tricky thing to work with. But at the moment, it is an option, right? It is an option. Rooting for Kraken, greatness awaits. Kalmar, I'm here to ensure y'all's success at the tournament. W. Hell yeah. But yeah, so we're about to be watching Kraken versus Prevail. We watched Prevail yesterday defeat CCRS to stay alive. They will be well rested. They've probably been preparing for this set for a while. Kraken, of course, they've been playing for the past so long, so they're going to be, a little bit, exhausted from the previous set, but, they're gaming. Oh, it looks like we're starting right away, so I'm just going to go ahead and show in game. Also, I have to thank the 2,800 bits from Salty. Thank you so much for that, man. 2,800, that's a lot. Wish Wargame can make this addictive without people pressing battle out of frustration than genuine pursuit for fun. In my opinion, comm culture needs to be a bigger part of the game. It builds collaboration rather than solo competition. I agree with you, Salty, 100%. I wish that they were promoting their competitive scene better. I think that they're starting to get the right idea with crowdfunding and everything, giving prizing, because of course people are motivated through prizing and everything, but in general, yeah, I agree. There should be better promotion of the competitive scene, just kind of maybe by showing all of the average players what it's like being in a high clan and all the rewards and stuff, of benefits. But in general, yeah, I agree. I think, it can always be promoted more. I'm not saying Wargame's doing a bad job of it. I think they're heading in the right direction, but there's always work that can be done. Anyway, let's focus on the game here. The set has begun on Alpenstadt here. Both teams are playing in the town. A little bit of interaction from both sides. In the ace side as well, we've got a Borask for Team Prevail. We've got 2 of them for Kraken. They've been running Borasks basically every single game, 2 of them. They do have a bit of an overmatch here against Homo Panzer. Seabiscuit and General Goss are going to be going for a quick push here. Actually, Goss backing out, not quite helping Seabiscuit. Seabiscuit's kind of going it by himself. Doesn't have that much support at the moment. If Goss could get in and help, that would be great. He does put some shots in, but I think Seabiscuit might have overextended. Can he reload to get the kill in time? Shoot the gun there, shoot the gun. You gotta shoot it. No, he doesn't do it in time. And Homo Panzer able to back out, kite him around long enough to get the kill. EXE does still have the HP lead. And they're fighting back on the corner side here. Clydeheim should get picked off, so that's actually a 2-kill lead here for Kraken. But Prevail's holding on pretty fine with their hit points. They actually have a ground tank, the interesting thing that I was commenting on earlier, that we haven't seen yet in this tournament, but puts a nice shot into 204 there. He'll take a couple hits for his troubles. And actually bouncing that one, you can see the nice blue animation. He gets picked off there. Really good trade from the ground tank. It's got a lot of HP and it hits pretty hard, so a good tank to be trading with for sure. Prevail still holding on to the HP lead despite still being down a tank. Lifty might be getting into the fight here to flank Velocity. It's not clear. Kalmar kind of playing passively for Kraken, but Homopanes are completely getting around Prevail though. Lifty should be able to pick up this kill, hit that shot, does so, and now all of a sudden the guns are even. Velocity is a little bit caught out and might get killed here by Captain Squash. Yep, does get the pickup there. Now all of a sudden EXE has the lead. Kraken had good positioning on Prevail, but were never able to hold on to an HP advantage here. Now all of a sudden Prevail having the extra gun. Ground tank missing that shot though. This could be the opportunity for Kraken to put some big damage back in. They do pick up the kill, as well as Captain Squash. Death sneaking through there with the Barask. The Charlemagne though putting a big shot into Kalmar. Didn't even notice that tank. That's a unique one. Rick Astley getting picked off by Goss. It's now a 3v3, but Prevail's got some very nicely unified tanks here. 2 should go down in this face hug here. General Goss having the HP lead does put that shot in. They have the advantage here. Kraken do have double Barask still alive, so they'll be definitely a tricky tank to catch up against. But Prevail do have a Barask of their own, as well as the tank advantage and an HP lead as well. Lifty's going to sit in the B base, grab it. General Goss will take C, so we will see the capture points ticking up in favor of Prevail here, but we are already at 700 for Team Kraken, so it doesn't matter. They're only 300 points away from a win. Prevail are more than 600 points away, so even though Prevail's ticking up twice as fast, Kraken is less than half as close to the win, so they will have the cap advantage. Prevail's going to need to stop A at some point, and the Barasks are set up quite nicely to protect it. They are spotting Stirp all the way out there in the Charlemagne. The Barasks do have that nice medium tank view range, so they'll be able to keep watch of what's going on. Kalmar does put one shot into Stirp, gets lit in return. We'll go for that clip reload. Smart. Now 200 points away from the win. I think Prevail's realizing they need to do something, but they're not brave enough to do it. Any tank that they send out can get double clipped by these Barasks, so they need to play smart. That being said, they only need to step in A to stop it. But will they be able to survive the clip? That's the question. Stirp takes one hit from Kalmar. Gonna take the second hit, not quite, and Death actually gets double tapped by Stirp and Lifty. So now the cap points are gonna be a lot more favorable for Prevail as they step into A as well. Kalmar's going on that reload. He's gonna try to maybe go for the kill on Stirp, but Lifty puts in a shot. Stirp misses his. Can Goss hit his kill shot? Doesn't look like it. No, bounces it actually. Kalmar's running away, but I don't know if he's going to be able to stop it. The cap points are not going to be in his favor anymore. Another missed shot there from Prevail. Kalmar will survive this for the moment, but Lifty will come in, pick up the kill here, giving Prevail the Game 1 win. Nicely done there. They held on there, even though Kraken did take map control and had 2 early kills. Prevail held on to those HPs and secured the Game 1 win. That ground tank put in some work there, being a very good trading tank. It didn't do too hot on damage-wise, but it was able to, you know, put some fear into the Kraken team. Also, the Charlemagne tank that I didn't even notice was being played until more towards the end game. On top of 3.2k damage, very nice game there. That's a great tank, by the way, the Charlemagne. Not one that we've seen yet this tournament. It's the first time, but a solid pick, and it worked out well for Prevail. They'll take the first game here. Now, Kraken seems to be going all in on their heaviums here. Double Chrysler, double action. I like it. I like it. They're going for brawls here, but they keep the double Barask. They seem to really like those tanks. And I don't know how to feel about it, honestly. I like the Barasks. I've said that they're good, and they're usable, and they're good tanks. But for Kraken, it just hasn't seemed to be working for them. Not too well, to be honest. So we'll see, I suppose. They have the chance to equalize, but it'll be tricky. We've got Wrath in the chat, Saved by Grace. What's up? What's up? Rob saying Clan Wars was fun back in the day. Yeah, absolutely. It was so much fun. I had a dream of becoming a good comp player for C the other night. Yeah, I wish that passion was still in the community, but it's really not. Pouring pickles here. Hello, hello. you playing? Mainly streaming. Saved by Grace, do you have a channel? I didn't know that you had a channel. I'll have to check it out. Seeing another interesting lineup here from Prevail. They keep the Charlemagne, actually add a second one, as well as double T77. Tank that we've seen a little bit this tournament, but really not much, to be honest. Not much at all. So that is very interesting. Sorry, I was tabbed out or something. I don't really know what that was. But yeah, two very different lineups. We do have one Brask still for Prevail. Double Charlemagne. 252, double T77, and a Type 57. Tank that, again, in my opinion, I think it's a little overrated. Its armor isn't really that good, to be honest, all things considered. It's got a reasonably hard-hitting gun, though. Missing the shot on Legend 204, but someone else from Prevail put one in. Maybe it was Clydeheim? Not clear to me, but both teams are fighting in the C area. This time it's Prevail taking the corner a little bit more aggressively. And it looks like Death is pretty far forward here for the Brask. He is getting spotted now. Prevail might want to make a priority out of this tank. Clydeheim's going to focus on grabbing the C base. He does get reset by Legend 204 there. Does Legend have shots? Yeah, he seems to have shots on Clydeheim, who's not able to grab this safely. And that's actually pretty scary. He takes a hit from Velocity as well, and he's not in a good position. Kraken could push this in the corner with 2 there, but he could take hits doing that. Those Charlemagnes are scary. HP lead for Prevail, though, and look at these doubles T77s here. They are unspotted and about to sneak right on through into Homopanzer. There we go, gets spotted there. And there we go, 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 and 4. Big nuke into Homopanzer. Clydeheim did get killed over down in the C corner, but huge shots from those T77s. They will be reloading, though. And Captain Squash has already taken a good amount of damage, but let's check out Legend 204 here. Skid should be able to pick up that kill. You need to pen this shot. It's important. Does line it up. Homopanzer does end up getting taken out by Stirp over there, one of those T77s, but they're getting a little low themselves. Commander Kalmar did die somewhere off screen. Didn't quite see it. It looks like Lifty picked up that kill over by the rear and is now shooting into 2. But it is a 6-on-4 at the moment. Prevail picks up another kill in Velocity there. Things are looking a bit scary for Kraken. They're about to go down 2-0 yet again if they don't clutch it up here. They pick up 1 kill of their own here. Looks like Death has found Lifty, but ooh, Lifty actually bounces the kill shot. Rick Astley getting picked off, though. That hurts. 2 is now low. He's going to be surrounded by Prevail tanks. Charlemagne picking up that kill. And just like that, it is now a 5v1. Both the Brasks are reloaded, but again, I don't think Death will be able to clutch this one up. That is way too many hit points to cheat through. Brask probably doesn't even have the DPM to finish it out. This tank is not a good DPM tank. He does sneak the kill on Lifty, though. Great peek from him there. But here's Stirp. There's the kill. And Prevail are now up 2-0 against Kraken. We saw the same thing happen last set. Kraken dropping 2-0 in the first 2 games. This time it's Prevail sweeping Alpenstadt. With a great start to the lower bracket finals here. Another best of 7, so Kraken's not out of it yet. First to 4 wins. But we're moving on to Oasis Palms here as our next map. A nice open one, with the exception of the town that kind of divides the map in the middle. But an interesting competitive map. And Prevail seems to have found a tank that they like running, the Charlemagne. One that we haven't seen yet this entire tournament. But now they're running 2 of them. Could bring out even more, who knows. It could be their staple tank. We will find out, I suppose. Kraken's running another new pick, the Senlak. A very strange tank. I did not expect to see that one. To me, that tank feels like it's a worse FV301. So I'm not sure why it's being used, but they did pick it. Interesting, I suppose. We'll have to see. Welcome to the stream, VIP Code Black. Good to have you in here. But yeah, lineups are still being finalized. More T-77s for Prevail. Only one Charlemagne this time. They're going to add an SMV and an ISU. We've seen that tank once before. I believe, was it Lux? No, it was X-Wing using it. I think it was X-Wing on Yamato. But we'll see if Prevail can pull it off. I don't think it worked too well for X-Wing. I think maybe they won one of the games. Kraken's got their picks, though. They'll get rid of one of their Brasks. Okay, fair enough, so they keep one. But not doubling up. Maybe realizing that's making their lineup a little bit too soft and a little bit too passive. The Brask is a very passive tank. You have to play very scared with it. It's not a good aggressive tank. And, you know, in competitive, you have to be able to play aggressive if you want to be able to punish the enemy. So, it makes sense. Let's see if we see any blind shots going in. This is one of the few maps where you can just directly see into the enemy spawn and go for blind shots, but it doesn't look like anyone's going for them. Prevail will be driving directly to A. Kraken doing mostly the same. Prevail does not have any mediums or light tanks this game, notably. Lifty not running the Brask like the previous two games, so Death will basically have free reign for this side of the map. He's going to be careful. I do like that. He's being careful not to bleed too much in the opening this game, so he's, you know, being careful, but Kraken has already spotted a couple of Prevail's tanks. Clyde, Heem, Stirp, General Gauss have all been lit so far. It does tell Kraken that there's probably no one over there, so Death may be able to aggress. Maybe he'll come to that decision. I will say Clyde Heem is a little bit out of place, and he's backwards now to the double action 10s. 2 and Legend should be able to pick up that quite easily here. Don't know why Legend's looking elsewhere. Just get that kill, and Velocity picks it up. Awkward positioning there from Prevail. Taking this outer quarter is very important, and Prevail have put a couple tanks there, the SMVs, Charlemagne, but they were not able to pressure those action 10s enough to keep Clyde Heem alive. Now, since Kraken has the extra tank, they feel safe in putting Death on to the C-cap. They will grab themselves a base. I will say, though, Charlemagne and SMV are looking all right over here in this corner. They're both healthy, and they've put good damage into the action 10s, but the damage has already been done. Prevail are down a tank. Great clip from Stirp into Velocity there. Kraken have become very aggressive on the side since getting the kill on Clyde Heem. 53 TP SMV, both very good tanks that are set up quite nicely in the center here. They're putting good bleeds into Skid, who is now in an awkward position, and Rick Astley should be able to pick up that kill. Does so. Very nice. Good punish there from Kraken, and they are just slowly but surely encroaching upon Prevail. Lifty quite low here. Kalmar is going to try to get around, pick up this kill. Has it. Very nice. Velocity did get killed in the Chrysler, and Homo Panzer goes down as well, so the tanks in the center maybe not doing too well for Kraken, but overall things are fine. Death is getting around the Prevail team right now. Can see him on that side of the map. He'll have shots into Stirp, which I'm sure he's going to go for that kill. Prevail counter pushing around the outside into Legend, though. They should have the kill on 2 as well. Captain Squash, Waterlog, Seabiscuit both have pretty solid DPM to be able to get that kill. So they should be able to pick it up here. Then it'll be a 3v3, but will they be able to pick him up in time to support Goss? Not entirely clear. Goss is already on 272 HP. Squash missing his shot into Ashley. Sorry, Rick Astley. And yeah, Goss not able to hang on. Kraken has too many hit points, too many guns left in the game here. Good shot into Death, but he's going to eat a couple for it in return. And I think we are going to be seeing another win here for Kraken. Sorry, the first win here for Kraken is what I meant to say. First win for Kraken in this set. Death just sitting on the A base while he reloads. You know, might as well multitask. Not quite a high enough roll from Seabiscuit getting the kill in Kalmar, but it makes no diff. Astley gets the kill. And Kraken are on the scoreboard. We might be seeing history repeat itself. Kraken going down 2-0, then maybe equalizing 2-2. I'll have to win this next game for it, though. But a solid game 3 for Kraken. It was very, very tricky for them to, you know, they were pushing forward, maybe pushed a little bit too far forward in the middle there. Those action 10s did end up getting bled out quite a bit after that early kill on Clyde Heem, but yeah, that early kill just absolutely costed Prevail that, just being down a complete tank, because they had very good claim on that outside edge, which they ended up counter pushing eventually. And if they had an extra tank in there, might have been very game changing for the end game. But good job to Kraken for their recognition there in the early kill. We'll move on to game number 4 here. Double SMV for Kraken. They seem to be liking the double SMV as much as the double Barask. They've gotten rid of one of them for this map, and it's been very good for them. Will Prevail go back to running a Barask? It seems like they will, so they're not going to give Death free reign over the seaside, which I can totally agree with. You know, you want to have a medium or light tank to use. You know, if it aligns with the strategy, which I suppose it must. And this time Prevail gonna run one Charlemagne. I think they ran one last game as well though, so fair enough. Here we are with game 4. Can Kraken equalize? Prevail's actually going hard at C with this play. Death gonna have to be a little careful here. If he overextends, could be scary. He knows he has to play careful now that Lifty's in the Barask, right? He's not completely unopposed in terms of lineup, but they do spot each other. Lifty putting in a nice first shot. Has to be careful not to overextend on this hill, though. He got shot at by Kalmar, and it looks like another shot missing him as well. Mopanzer not quite able to connect from that distance. Lifty getting a little lucky there. He is supported by the rest of his team, but of course you don't want to be bleeding early in the Barask. And if he took both of those hits from those SMVs, he would have been down half of his HP at the start. Kraken will take an early cap lead, though. That is important. And they have access to the B base as well. They're going to cap it with velocity. Don't think Prevail are set up to reset it. No, they're all set up in the dunes here. So Kraken's actually going to have 2 bases. That'll be a lot of pressure on Prevail. It's going to be difficult for them to push through those dunes and into the town here. As Kraken looks to set up their fortress. I will say, though, Velocity got bled quite a bit, capping the B base and leaving it. If you're Velocity, you don't have to leave the base. I suppose Kraken put 2 tanks there, and it's very difficult for 2 tanks to fit. I don't really agree with the play. I think if you are trying to grab the B base, you only want to do it with 1 tank. You want to do it with one that's low profile enough to hide behind those rocks without issue. And then you just leave it there. If you let him cross back like that, as Velocity did, you know, he's down 1,000 HP for it. Prevail were very nicely set up to punish it. And even though I was just talking about how Kraken, you know, they would have a nice defense set up here, they're actually bled quite a bit. They've only put 2 or 3 shots into the entire Prevail team, and they've already bled like maybe 15-20% of their HP. Another shot going in there. Prevail has a very good setup for punishing Kraken's mistakes here. They are going to start pushing forward. They will have to do so soon. 600 points for Kraken. You've got a little bit of time to do it, but the more time you wait, the closer Kraken is going to be to reaching 1,000 points. And of course, you know, you have to prevent that at all costs, as that's just a straight loss. So Prevail needs to do something. The caps hit 700 as I'm rambling about that, so that's just showing how quickly they're ticking. 5 tick per base per you know, frames, so already almost at 800. And Prevail need to make a move. They've got slow tanks. It's taking them so much time to get in. They need to pick up a kill and stop the B base, preferably both. But who is their target going to be? Velocity is not spotted. Prevail don't know exactly where they are. But look at Kraken. They're just backing up. They're like, you know what? It doesn't matter, right? We can just back up. They're not going to be able to catch us very easily. They'll get the kill on 2, most likely, but not if Kalmar and Death have anything to say about it. Prevail's too scared to push through here. And all of these Prevail tanks, Captain Squash Stirp, that still haven't joined the fight, aren't going to buy enough time for Prevail to stop the bases. They get the kill on 2, but they lose Seabiscuit, and just like that, they're on 980 points. Kraken might be able to take this if they can survive just a little bit longer, which they do. Prevail wasted way too much time with those bases. They had such an HP lead. They had very good positioning, or not maybe positioning, but they were in a good position to take the lead there in that game. They just needed to execute. Those tanks were way too slow to join the fight, and even though they started driving around 700, they never reached the town until 950, and by then it was too late. Absolutely needed to go way earlier. Unfortunate for Prevail, but Kraken does indeed repeat what happened last set. Go down 2-0 and then tie it 2-2. We're moving on to our third map, which will be Black Goldville. And yeah, we've got an even set on our hands. Once again, a very nice competitive one. We're seeing some really good sets in this tournament so far. Pretty much every single set has been close, winnable by both teams. And yeah, we'll see if Kraken can this time overcome the 2-0 deficit that they faced at the start with a set win here over Prevail. The momentum is on Kraken's side. I realize I still have the EXE logo. Why is the Prevail logo not up? This entire time it was the EXE logo. I pressed the update icons button. I guess it just never registered, so that's awkward. But oh well. Forget about that. Prevail does have a very nice logo. They sent it to me, and it looks really good. Big fan of it. But unfortunately, it was not showing for some reason. Normally, you know, I type in the team name and then the logo updates, but did not. Maybe I deserve the dunce cap. Prevail are busting out the AT-15 for Black Goldville. That's a crazy tank. Keeping a Charlemagne. Keeping a Barask. I got 7 different tanks here. An AT, a Barask, a Charlemagne, and a Mill, a 252, a SMV, and a Tornbogen. Very interesting lineups here. Double SMV again for Kraken. I seem to really like that tank. I don't blame them. 1 Barask. Again, I don't blame them. Double action, double 53. So they're running very spammable tanks. I do like Kraken's lineup here. Curious to see how the AT-15 gets used. Waterlogged Seabiscuit, the slow fortress here. Looks like he's running the small gun. I forget what alpha is this. Is this like the 225 high DPM gun? I don't remember the stats for this tank. I'm going to look it up really quickly on Blitzstar's tank compare. I know it's got nutty DPM. ET-15, yeah, 225. I believe it's that one. Very, very good DPM. 3937, by the way, with rammer, I believe. It is the higher DPM gun. Sometimes, you know, you just want to run the bigger alpha gun because you sacrifice a little bit of DPM, but the gun's a lot more usable because the shells all hurt, you know, as like a 200 alpha gun, 225 doesn't really hurt that much, but a 300 damage shot does. And you sacrifice like less than 10% of your DPM, but you've got a much harder hitting shell. Anyway, Prevail takes A, but Kraken was able to grab B and C in that time I was spent ranting about the AT-15. We haven't even seen the AT do anything crazy yet. He's just kind of set up in the bush right now. Kraken is very passive, actually. Quite interesting. They've grabbed B and C, and now they've mostly fallen back into their own spawn, all grouped up together. Rick Astley and Death have pushed pretty far forward. Prevail could isolate that. They've got 0 point in Seabiscuit actually ready to pump damage in, and Death has not spotted either tank yet. He will finally proxy 0 point, but this is going to be a big trade for Prevail. And Death actually missing the shot. That's a free 900 damage in here for 0 point if he's able to hit all 3 of his shots, which he does. And now the AT is spotted as well, and Death realizing, yeah, I have to push forward here, or somehow create distance between myself and the AT-15. Now, Kraken actually has shots into the rear of the AT, so that push might be a little bit premature. Legend should actually pick up that kill here. He does. That's just a free tank that Prevail hung there, and now Kraken is all of a sudden looking quite good. Prevail had a little bit of a push here, but very awkward routing there from the AT-15. Basically threw the tank away. I don't think he did a shot of damage there, and that's tricky if you are Prevail. 0 point is going to try to help out here with the crossfire, stopping those tanks in their tracks, but now Death is going to have free shots in as well. Lifty going to try to help, but is it going to be enough? Not entirely clear to me. Captain Squash does pick up the kill there, but look at Stirp and Goss. They're both low. They're both on less than 150 HP. Prevail need to hold on here if they want to win it, but Kraken is absolutely bringing this game to a close here. Good kill on Death, though. Prevail are actually up 2 tanks, but Kraken's looking really good on the caps. They do get the kill on Stirp there, starting to bring it back. Prevail has 2 tanks and Rick Astley, though, but they lose Goss. Now a 4v4, and Kraken is looking just fine. They are bringing it back. It's a 3v3 now. Good kill in the center if they can pick up Save by Grace. No, Kalmar missing the shot there. Not able to get the kill. Now Velocity driving in. Might take a big hit from Captain Squash. Is Lifty going to be able to help out? He's stopping the C-base. That's going to be all three in favor of Prevail. And if Prevail is able to get one kill, or sorry, if Kraken gets one kill, then they win the game. One shot from Velocity in. Rick Astley gets the kill, and they do. Despite Prevail having all three bases at the end there, Kraken had the advantage up until the end. Prevail absolutely throwing that AT-15 away. I was excited to see what it would do, but unfortunately, the weakness of that tank, it's incredibly slow. He did put in one shot, maybe in the early game, that I didn't quite notice. Or maybe it was on camera and I just wasn't paying enough attention, but they straight up threw that tank away. And I just kind of gave Kraken the advantage. That's tough. That is tough. But just like that, we're moving on to Game 6. Will Prevail equalize? Is Kraken going to take this set 4-2 in their favor this time? We'll find out. Reading up in the chat, Defender Mark 1 get it brawling as well as Carnarvon over Action 10. Defender Mark 1's not a brawler. It's a clipper, right? Clippers don't brawl. You just put in your shots and you run. That's not brawling. That's a very big distinction there. It's a great tank for sure, though. I agree it should be used, but brawling isn't quite how I would describe it. Or hits it on skip at some point. Well, yeah. But we're waiting on Kraken to ready up. Looks like they've got someone offline. It's not fun. Maybe they have a sub. Doesn't look like they have a sub. Not scared. They're just gonna have to wait for him to ready up. We're just gonna keep waiting. I'm gonna ping Copenhagen over a suggestion really quickly. We will continue to wait. Looks like, yeah, Kraken's having an issue with one player losing internet. That's not fun at all. We'll wait a couple minutes. Always better than AMX 13. Don't try to argue you'd win. Well, Braski's a lot. Specific reason. Brask is good for putting in like a quick clip and then running. It's very good for like passive slow play, but for aggressive play, it's not good at all. Ooh, this hurts for Kraken. They've lost a player, and I don't think they have a sub. That's tricky. Still monitoring the Discord. He said 1 minute he'll be back. I don't see him. He's gone. Everyone's readied up, except for one player on the Prevail team. He's working on joining. Nope. They just moved him out, and unfortunately we are going with 6 players for Kraken in game number 6. They just took a big dub, but now have to play with 6 players. It's going to be very challenging to win this one. Not impossible. I've seen wins with a 6v7 before. In fact, my previous clan, 501, that I was in many years ago, the first clan I was ever in, defeated Pramo 6 versus 7. We were down a player and defeated Pramo. which they were just as good back then as they ever were, if not, you know, in their prime. I don't think it was their best players, but it was a team of all pramo. And they were defeated 6v7. Looks like Prevail is just completely sending it here. What the heck? They're like, oh, we have a tank advantage, so we might as well just send it, but they're getting bled out pretty hard for it. Stirp is already on 1000 HP, 0 Point is on half HP. Kraken have good positions to punish this. They've got a kill, and it's already a 6v6. Saved by Grace does grab the B-base, but is that worth it? Was that worth everything? I don't know if it was. Just like that, huge punishes from Kraken. The double SMVs are completely pumping damage into Saved by Grace. Rick Astley and 2 putting in good damage, although they're getting quite low themselves. The Burrasque General Goss putting in big shots there will counteract that. For a second, though, that was incredibly scary for the Prevail team. It is a 5v5. Rick Astley's on 1 HP, though, and he does get picked off there by Lifty. Death is going to try to sneak himself around here. He's on full HP. Does take a hit, puts one back into Captain Squash, but that was Kraken's chance at equalizing, but unfortunately it's not going to be very easy for them to do anymore. General Goss sneak himself in there. He will get clipped out by Velocity, but now Lifty's here to support, and he should be able to get that kill. Prevail just kind of going for the W key. They want to end this game as quickly as possible to not let Kraken get their 7th player back. It is a little unfortunate that the rules of the tournament do require this, but that's just kind of how tournaments are in general, right? It's not necessarily... I'm not saying it's the fault of the tournament. The way that I phrased that made it sound like I'm blaming the tournament for this, which I'm not. In a quick tournament, if you don't have your players ready in time, you go in with 6. I phrased that poorly to blame the tournament, and I did not mean to do that. It's just like, unfortunately, that's how tournaments are, right? You don't have your players in time, you go into battle with 6. That's just unfortunate for Kraken. Hopefully they have their player back for Game 7 here, but yeah, unfortunately, in the Losers Bracket Finals, after winning the game, winning 3 games in a row, I should say, Kraken won the last 3 games in a row, they lost a player. And they still don't have one back. That's heartbreaking for this team, man. I really hope they're able to find one soon. I believe there's 2 minutes in between each game that they are allowed to bring an extra player, but that's tough, man. We're on Port Bay for the tiebreaker. We'll see if Kraken's able to bring their last tank. But unfortunately, it's not looking too good for them. I don't know. I'm monitoring Discord. Looks like they're looking to see if they can get a sub. I was pinged to hide the room so that Kraken looks for their sub. So I will do that. Yeah, we're going to hold on tight, see if Kraken can grab a sub for this last game. It would be a heartbreaker for them to go down in this fashion after winning those last 3 games. But not to discredit Prevail, of course, right? They won those first 2 games very cleanly. And they absolutely deserve a spot in the grand finals as well. They've had a good tournament run as well. They've won several sets. Let's see. First, I have the bracket up. They started out by defeating Lux, and they did go down to EXE, which is the team sitting in the grand finals. But then they went back to defeat Lux and then CCRS, which CCRS has had a good run as well. So, you know, they absolutely deserve a spot in the grand finals as well. So not to discredit them, of course. But yeah, a reminder on how the bracket's going. EXE did defeat Kraken, and Kraken is down here. But we're just going to continue waiting, see if the Kraken team is able to find their sub. But it does look like Copenhagen is trying to give them a little bit of time, which I can appreciate. In a regular quick tournament, that would not happen at all. So having a little bit of grace here is welcome. Oh, I accidentally pulled that up. That's awkward. Didn't mean to do that. Just realized it was like that. I was just having this in the open in the background to make sure everything's going well with the stream monitor. But anyway, I should probably just go to the just chatting scene. Might as well at this point. Still no sub for Kraken. But we'll wait a few minutes. I don't mind doing that. Still nothing, but we'll hang on tight, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm seeing message in the chat. ISU 130 slept on. It's not an awful tank, I suppose, but it's very inflexible. It's got a good gun, though. Brass does a ton of damage fast, yeah, but it requires a lot of time and space, right? Because you have a long clip reload, and you also have to be able to like run around and stuff in that time. So if you don't have a lot of space or a lot of time, like on Oasis Palms, no, it was Desert Sands. Desert Sands, not really good to be running, unfortunately. Worded it wrong. Dumps clip down. Also, yeah, sure. Kraken, if you see this, we're all rooting for you. It's okay. You can win at 67. They almost did. They equalized the tanks at the start. Prevail was getting a little bit slap happy there. Check, make it on the game. We need you. Lol. We're hanging tight. I've got another minute or two to find a player, otherwise they're going to have to play with 6, which is an unfortunate way for the lower bracket finals to go down. But again, if this was a quick tournament, they wouldn't even have this luxury of having time to search for another player. They would just lose. So I am grateful for Copenhagen giving them the opportunity to this. What's on the line for this tournament in terms of rewards? Good question. 2,500 gold per player for the winning team, but only the winning team. So second place, third place get nothing. So you have to win. So basically you have to win this set, and then you have to win the next set as well for both of these teams to get the gold. And unfortunately, Kraken only having 6 players, they're all readied up. I think they are unfortunately going to accept the fact that they are down a player. So, yeah, tough way to go down. We'll see if Kraken is able to somehow clutch a 6 versus 7. This would be one of the greatest clutches if we are to see it, but it's going to be very tricky for them to do so. And, yeah, can't really blame anyone for this. It's just kind of how it goes. But I'm sure Kraken's going to be playing very carefully here. They've got, everything to lose. Now, a very interesting pick that I didn't expect to see from Prevail. LT-432, an interesting light tank. It's very, very low profile, not easy to hit. Its armor profile is very tricky because of that. But it's also got a really, really good camo rating. I believe it's one of the highest out of any of the light tanks because of how low profile it is. It's very, very good at that. It really has awful DPM, though. The gun is not good on the LT-432, so I'm very surprised they're taking that. What's up with Kalmar here? Kalmar is taking his sweet time. He needs to join the fight. It looks like Kraken just wants to take this to a straight-up brawl. They've got a Carnarvon, so they've got a lot of damage output. So if they are able to somehow, just put in a ton of damage with the Carnarvon, that could be very good. And if you're Prevail, you need to focus down that Carnarvon. They're looking at the Shark here. They need to absolutely be taking it to the Carnarvon. And if you're Kraken, you need to kill their Carnarvon. But look at the LT-432 for Prevail. He's going to be in a very good position to fight against the Kraken team. Having that corner to work with, going to be very nice. Putting shots into 2. He's already low. Kalmar is also quite low, and he's actually sideways at this point, basically backwards to the Charlemagne, the 53, and the Torn Von ends up picking up the kill. Unfortunately, guys, it is 10,000 HP to less than 5,000. This is an unfortunate way for Kraken to go down, but they were missing a player, and sometimes that happens. And Prevail is going to be moving on to the Grand Finals after picking up these last 2 games. And I do appreciate Kraken still saying GG, Velocity saying GG, good sportsmanship. You know, you can't really blame anyone for this. That's just kind of how the cookie crumbles, but they're taking it in stride, they're taking it in grace, and I can really appreciate that. So congrats to Kraken on making it this far in the tournament. Unfortunately, it is the end of their run, but congratulations to Prevail on taking it. They will be moving on to the Grand Finals against EXE. The previous time these 2 teams played, it went to a tiebreaker. We did not watch the set fully, but we did catch the end of it, I remember. And Prevail almost took it. EXE did end up winning it, but it was a close set. And we're about to see that rematch in just a little bit here, so congrats to Prevail on qualifying. And yeah, GG's. Just like that, I suppose we will wait for the next one. I don't know if I have any other good replays to show. I played a lot of Big Boss today, and I'm sure there's some interesting games, but I don't really remember which ones are good to show, so I don't know if it's worth me showing a long replay like that. I don't know. Those replays do tend to be kind of long. So we'll just hang out. I think Prevail has Lifty on the team, so do yourself an upgrade. Lol. Rip. Lifty did move over from Apex Clan to play this. They registered 7. Each team should have registered 9, but unfortunately they just didn't have enough players today. So RIP. Yeah, it feels bad for Kraken, but it is what it is, man. But yeah, we'll be waiting for information on the next set. Maybe we should play a replay. Maybe we'll just play a game. Maybe playing a game would be fun. I'll have the Discord open, and if I need to, like, quickly die, I can do that, I guess. But yeah, let's go for a game. I'm assuming the set's not going to be starting for another several minutes. Let's just play one. Big Boss. Now, I'm very good at winning when I have my good platoon mate that I have good cohesion with, but unfortunately I'm running solo. And when you play Big Boss in solo, it is a coin flip on if you've got a good team or not. Because Big Boss is the most team-dependent game mode there is. Because, you know, if you've got a really bad boss player who kills himself frequently, you're screwed. We're lucky. We've got a VK90 as a boss. He's pretty heavy. He's got a lot of HP, which is compounded even more by the fact that a boss gets quadruple HP. They've got a Sheridan. He will die fast. That's very good for us. It's very good for us. Of course, you know, it's not like the game's already decided. You know, our boss could really suck. It's entirely possible. But, like, general rule of thumb, I suppose. Just kind of how it goes. But we'll get some good early bleeds into their boss. A second shot in as well. Nice. Our STB's a little aggro. That guy should be dead. Is healing the ability. That's smart on his end. He's still gonna take some ticking though. The VK4502B, let's not piss him off. Now this STB needs to turn around a little bit better. Okay, we're in trouble. Good. Yeah, didn't have the reload. But we've got a good start to the game, I'd say. Unfortunately, we're healer now. 10-10, okay. Yeah, we've got time. We've got time. Set starts in 8 minutes. The game's got less than 7 left, so we'll be okay. Nice. Hopefully the E3 doesn't hit us. We're good. Now our boss is pretty healthy, actually. Theirs is not. But our team all just died, and for some reason a bunch of them are on the wrong side of the map. So our boss actually might die very quickly here. That's actually very bad. Oh no. Yeah, that's very bad. Maybe I can HP share a little bit. Nice. And we'll get the kill on theirs in the end, which I'm happy about. But, yeah, that was worth it. Keeping our boss alive a little bit longer. And my body's on top of their tank, so we're actually getting that kill in the end. And our boss is still alive. He's a little stuck, though. Now I've got Bomber. This could be filthy. But now our boss has support, which is nice. He's got healers on him, but no, he dies anyway. Fair enough. Maybe I should not have played a big boss game. This thing might be a little bit longer. Then I'd be happy to have... Well, let's just get in here. Put in a big explosion. Didn't get the reload off. But we got some good damage in for that, so it was worth. We're losing though. Yeah, for some reason our team went all the way to the other side of the map over there instead of coming this way where the enemy was, and so we just lost a lot of opportunity there, and then so our boss died. Yeah, we're not in a good spot anymore. Our team is just going in one by one. Other team's just joining the fight. STB is going to be taking his time. Yeah, it's a little frustrating, but it is what it is. He's getting healed. Where's my team? I thought my boss was coming this way. He's not. We did get a kill on their boss though, which is pretty big actually. This might be a little bit much though. Oh fuck. Now I'm getting pulled in. No, I don't want... Yeah, I want to leave. I want to leave. I want out. I want out. I want to keep our boss alive and get out. Oh fuck. That hurts. Healed. Getting pulled a bit. Not good, not good. Listen, activity Kraken Discord after this. Yeah, unfortunately they just lost a player. Don't know if they're gonna, you know, be mad at him or whatever if there was some sort of situation that I don't know about, but it sucks. Okay, we just need 1 kill here and we can leave. And as long as we don't lose our boss, we're fine. Come on, let's get a kill. What is our tortoise doing all the way over there? So we just have players driving, doing their own thing. Okay. Alright. Not even gonna look at that. Player limit reached. There we go, we're in. Alright, now we're good. They were waiting on me. I feel bad. But we're good. Let's update the icons. On the left is EXE and on the right is Prevail. EXE. Bang! And we're good. Guys, we are on grand finals now for the tournament. It is the final set of the night and of the entire run. We've got EXE, who qualified through the winner's side. They have not dropped a single set yet. They have beaten every team they've played. We've got Prevail, who have lost once. They lost to EXE previously, the only team that's beaten them. It was a tiebreaker set, so hopefully this set will be close as well. First map will be Middleburg, we're seeing here, then Rockfield, Canal, New Bay, and Hellas. So a good mix of maps here. Some repeated, some new, which I am happy to see. So without further ado, we will get right on into it. They were indeed waiting on me. So I feel a little bit bad for that, but the set wasn't supposed to start until 10:10, and it was 10:08 when I joined, so technically I wasn't late. But everyone else was ready for me, so... oh well. That's fine. You know, just looking for a smooth production experience here, right? If I have to sit around for several minutes waiting, you know, it's a little bit boring, so hopefully no one minds that I put in a game. Now, looking at the teams here, we are seeing a Defender Mark 1, a tank that's been hyped up for a while, but we haven't seen a whole lot of it, but we are seeing them now. Both teams, though, are pretty heavily committed into the town. Lots of 53 TPs for EXE. They're rocking 5 of them and 2 252Us, and they're just going for a solid push here. They've taken B, but they're not stopping there. They're just going right on through. Captain Squash, who was spotted up top, maybe is giving EXE the realization that, you know, they've got an extra tank here. Why not just completely W key down low here? They're going to focus fire General Goss and Save by Grace first. Save by Grace has protected themselves here, so we are going to be seeing a quick focus fire now going on to, I can't tell who that is, 0 Point. I was trying to click on the correct Prevail player, but I couldn't see who it was. So we are seeing some beautiful focus fire from the EXE team as they've got 2 quick kills. Atreides has been picked off, but Captain Squash is only joining the fight now after taking the sea base. I think that's a little bit of wasted time there for Prevail, as, you know, this is not going to go down to caps here. This is going to be a kills game, and they needed to recognize that. Now, they are fine on the hit points. The hit points are quite even. Brett Lifty needs to hit his shots here on Goshira. Bounced 1. So Seabiscuit might have to turn for the kill, or is Captain Squash going for it? It's not clear, but either way, it was a 5v3 for the moment. Now a 3v3 with 2 quick kills. Captain Squash is going to be reloading that clip, though, and Lifty is as well. So we've got a tricky situation where it's 3 clipping tanks versus 3 auto-loading tanks versus 3 regulars. Single shells. Now Stirp is kind of blocking Lifty from putting shots in here, and Lifty misses the first one. We're seeing several key missed shots here from Prevail in the end game here. Could be very costly for them. Captain Squash is being hit pretty hard himself here, still having 2 shots in the clip before going down, but Prevail is all right here. It's a 2 versus 2 scenario. They're both going for their reloads. Stirp did have one shell, but decided to go for the reload. Lifty's reloading himself now. If you're EXE, you probably want to take the advantage of the reloads as long as you can, and I bet Prevail is kind of regretting going for that. Now, unfortunate focus fire for EXE. They both put a shot into different tanks here, and Stirp actually is able to reload and put that shell into KOA, getting the kill. Lifty's trying to HP share now for Stirp. Will be able to block Stirp, but gets lit on fire. Dragon putting in a huge shot there, doing over 700 damage. But Dragon still got a 1 versus 2 to fight here. Needs to put in killing shells for multiple tanks. A high roll will kill Lifty, but he doesn't hit it, and unfortunately not able to clear it. Lifty bouncing another shot though. Lifty's having a tough time penning his shots in this first game here. Prevail maybe a little bit shaky, but able to survive here. Not a high enough roll from Dragon to get the kill. Stirp gonna go for that reload, and Prevail is going to end up taking game number 1 against EXE. Great start for them. I'm sure they're happy with that result. It was a little shaky at the start. They got pushed very heavily in the opening game there by EXE. They had a very good push going, but those Clippers did end up bringing it back. T77, Emil 1, and the Defender Merc 1 in the end game as well. They did a very nice job winning that 3v3. Unfortunate game there for Raul, only doing a nice little dash of damage there, the 0. Tough stuff for them. They were looking super good with that opening push, but not fully able to make things work. Spawns will swap here for game 2 on Middleburg. Maybe EXE will equalize. They've got even more 252s. They're realizing, you know what? Prevail was bouncing against the 252s. We're going to run more of them. And look at Prevail's lineup, even crazier. They're rocking 7 Emil 1s. Let's hope that they play a little bit better than Lifty did. He had several bounce shots, but if they're able to pen their shots overall in this game, this could be a very interesting one to see here. 7 Emil 1 Clippers. They've got their secret strategy here that they've been planning for this second game on Middleburg. What's the play here? They did spawn with 1 up top, so he's going to drive down. EXE actually spawned with a tank up top as well. But yeah, quick B grab from Prevail, A for EXE. We will see the cap lead for Prevail though. They've got doubles in the B base, but are they going to drive Rod on in? Maybe they will. Goss took a lot of damage peeking there. EXE was pre-aiming it. The 252Us don't have very good gun handling, but when you're sitting still waiting to pre-aim the corner, you're not going to have too many issues hitting those shots. But what if you do, or what do you do if you're EXE here? Well, you've got Goss. No, sorry, KOA. I meant to say KOA. I don't know why I said Goss. Who spawned up top for C, ends up taking the base. And now EXE has the cap lead. They have a tank up top, but Prevail knows that. Are they going to take initiative? Stirp gets double tapped as he tries to cross here. Nice shots from Dragon and Goshira. They've got a lot of ground to cover here if they want to go for a push on EXE, but look at KOA. He's got a nice flanking position here. He'll have side shots into Lifty, Captain Squash potentially. We are seeing the push go through though. In come the Emil 1s. Waterlogged Seabiscuit and Saved by Grace still have plenty of shots in their clip, as well as Squash, but Goss and 0 Point bringing up the rear there. Not the healthiest tank, Goss or Stirp actually. But nice early clips from Prevail into Raul getting the first early kill here. Waterlogged is pretty low though, as is Lifty, Goss, and Stirp getting down there as well. And now all of a sudden all of the Emils from Prevail are reloading except for Stirp here. He'll put a couple shots in, but in all of this reloading time, EXE is going to pick up 2 kills, getting both Lifty and Goss. Finally, Saved by Grace is going to start loading in their clip, but bouncing a shot off of Dragon, missing the second. You have to be hitting your shots if you're in these Clippers, and it seems like Prevail is not able to do that. Captain Squash missing one as well. And this is just easy pickings for EXE right now. 6,500 to 2k HP. It doesn't even matter who they're shooting. They're not even focus firing at all here because they've got almost triple the HP of Prevail at this point. So might as well just shoot whoever you're able to easily. And yeah, it's tough stuff for Prevail. When you're running all of those Clippers, it's very important that you hit your shots and get clears, because that's what's the most important when you're running Clippers, because you're going to have a very long reload afterwards. So you know, all the guns from EXE are going to be looking at you when you're reloading. So the goal is to just take out as many as you can. And Prevail did get the one in the corner, but afterwards everyone was just reloading, and there was really no opportunity for Prevail to bring it back from there. So good stuff from EXE, you know, not wavering after looking at all of those clippers and maybe getting a little bit scared of them. No, they were brave, and they did a great job at holding on to it. So they're going to tie it up 1-1. I like the idea from Prevail, but unfortunately, it's very important to get the execution right when you're running that lineup, and they didn't quite have that. Lifty, yeah, maybe not the best mill player for today, only doing 64 damage in that game. Had a lot of bounces in the last one. Granted, he did help them clutch the win, so I shouldn't be digging on him too much, but this was clearly not his game. Even the lowest EXE tank, you know, the first one to go down, did a lot more damage than that. So we need to do better on the grand finals stage, I suppose. We'll be moving on to Rockfield. I don't expect this to be as, you know, much of a, you know, heavy YOLO type map, but we are seeing a lot of 252U still from EXE, but we're finally seeing some mediums back in action. A Prog, maybe two. I do like having mobility in Rockfield. I think it's a very good map for information and position. That being said, you know, tier 8 meta is very different than tier 10, so it could be completely just like, you know, YOLO meta and tier 8 on every map. Here's what EXE likes to do. They like to just group up together, run very solid tanks, and then pound. They will run 2 meds though, a Prog and Ascent. Prevail with at least a Barask. They are bringing the Charlemagne back out as well. I'm glad I got to participate in the tournament. It was fun, a bit stressful. Wish best of luck in Prevail's journey to the EXE. Hey man, appreciate the kind words for the tournament, Anonymous. I agree. I think it's being run very well. Glad you enjoyed. Certainly lose a little voice here. But here we are with next game on Rockfield. I'm going to step away, grab a water bottle real quick just to try to clear my voice real quick. Alright, water bottle acquired. Let's take to the skies and see where our lineups are headed. Looks like quick medium pushing from both teams here. Lifty and Sol trade. Goshira not able to sneak anything in. But both teams otherwise pretty heavily centered around A. Looks like Goss driving down in the middle in the Type 57. Spots the double K2s. I think Prevail might realize that they're going to have a mismatch if they push up top because of all those tanks down low. Sol, Goshira, Kaposhta, Dragon, all spotted. If you're Prevail, you want to push this, right? You see where everyone is. You see those 3 tanks up top, and you just need to YOLO it, and it looks like it's exactly what Prevail wants to do. They're bringing the mill directly into KOA here. That's a big shot that he's going to put in. Backs up before the other two, though. What's going on? You need to be confident if you're going for a push, right? Instead, they're pulling back, Stirp taking in another push, and now they're sweeping in on KOA, but they've already lost Stirp. Very disconnected push there from Prevail, not quite brave enough to go for it, and they've given the K2s enough time to drive up, and they don't have the advantage that they did just a bit ago. And so I'm thinking EXE is looking quite good here. Yeah, in come the K2s and the Prog and the Senate with the counter push. They're going to find Captain Squash. They're going to find 0 Point. They're going to find Lifty. Good kill on Chapito, but they lose Goss, actually, the first tank to go down. Good focus fire from EXE. And yeah, now they've got the rear of all these Prevail tanks. It's going to be very difficult to finish this. Waterlogged is going to go for the chase on Raoul, but otherwise, EXE is just looking dominant here. Saved by Grace in the middle of 2 Russian heavy tanks. Not looking fun there. Lifty gonna get the kill on Sol, though. Very nicely done. But Goshira should be able to pick up the kill in 0 Point, and Lifty's reloading won't be able to help out. So, Waterlog does pick up Raoul. Does chase him down, but still a lot of work to be done. And maybe Waterlog just scoped in, doesn't realize he's driving into a turret right now. So, he's going down. Lifty's picked up. And now it's just a 3v1. Dragon's still full health. Yeah, EXE did a really good job of regrouping there. They definitely were a little bit shaky at the start, only having 3 tanks up top and 4 down low, but the ones that were up top held on nicely enough, and Prevail just didn't execute on that push. They got a little bit scared there. The Emil backed up after only shooting 1 shell, and he took a hit and was like, oh wait, I need to back up. And then Stirp took the hits instead and just got completely deleted, so EXC with a very nice push for that 3rd game, or counter push at the end. I wasn't here to Kraken play map 7-6, guys. Yeah, unfortunately, Daddy Clay, they played the last 2 games. So games 6 and 7 were both only with 6 players. Unlucky for them, but, you know, things happen. We'll move on to game number 4 here. Take a drink of water. See if I can salvage my voice a little bit. But we are switching up spawns. Map will stay the same. Same lineup for EXC, 53 TPs, K2s, a Prog, and Ascent. Prevail gonna rock double Barask this time. I don't mind playing the slow game. I think playing the slow game is pretty fine on Rockfield, to be honest. A nice rotational map. Of course, if everyone goes A, it does turn into a brawl, but it doesn't have to be that way. But they will have to be more careful, though. The Prog and the Scent can be aggressive mediums. The Barask can't. So, EXE loves to play aggressive. We've seen it a lot. And so Prevail's going to have to be very, very careful with their lineup. They do have some 53s of their own. And a Mill, a Shark, and a Charlemagne. Tank that they've been liking so far today. Didn't see a whole lot of it yesterday, but it's working for them today. They've made it to Grands. But looks like Prevail is again hard committing A. They do see a tank or 2 there. EXE isn't really lined up for it. The question is, does Goss spot anything? If he spots something here, he spots Chapito, that might just trigger the push from Prevail. Wardlog does take a big hit from Raul, though. Does Prevail just send it? They know that EXE's got tanks down low again. But Goss is caught. Goss is absolutely trapped here. Where is Goss? Can I click on him? Yep, there's the Scent. There's the Prog. He's just dead. He's going to get chased down. Prevail needs to counter push now. They cannot waste any time because Mr. Goss at minus 1161. He's just dead. Yeah, he's gone. So Prevail needs to do something now, but they're taking their time. Seabiscuit getting blood. They're going down. They're going down into Kaposta. They're just driving right into the mediums. Like, look at the Prog. If you're the Prog, you're the Scent, you can just overlook this. Prevail is just pushing into the enemy tanks that were disconnected from the fight. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work out too well for them. They will pick up Kaposta here. No, Skid misses that shot too, and now Goshira, Chapito, Saul will all crash in on Skid. He's not going to survive this. Lifty's kind of running away from Raul and KOA. And yeah, this is tricky. Down goes Skid. Completely surrounded by all those EXE tanks. Stirp's not going to have very much fun either. And yeah, in come all the reinforcements. This one is looking like an EXE win as well. Lifty does get chased down by Saul there. And just like that, EXE is about to have a nice 3-1 lead after the first 4 games. Of course, Prevail's not out of it. This is a best of 9, the longest set that we're going to be having in terms of, or the largest set in terms of amount of wins required to take it. But the way that it's going right now, not the closest of sets. Prevail did take the 1 game, but the last 3 have all been EXE, so something's going to have to change for Prevail. Their pushes just aren't executed properly. They have to work on that a little bit here. Tough game there from Gossi, only 31. And that was probably only just for a ram. He put in his 1 clip to start. Neither of those shots connected, and then he just got shoved. And the rest of the team needed to counter push up top, and were not able to do so. We'll move on to Canal. the third map and potentially the final map of the tournament if EXE sweeps it. We'll see if Prevail are able to pull something off here, but things are looking a little bit tricky for them. EXE, we've seen them on this map before, and they looked just fine against the Kraken team. They swept on this map. They're looking good, and they had a nice strategy for it. Double FE301 they're going to be running from the north spawn. 453 TPs and a Shark. Alright, solid lineup. Prevail, a little bit more spread out with their lineup. They've got an Emil, an SMV, a Scent, a Type, 253s, and a Sheriff. You can bet most of the Emils are not using B-Stab, so many shots missed. It's possible. But it's also just not easy to hit shots against, you know, 252Us, and those are the tanks that they were facing, so it's tricky stuff. EXE is switching out for a couple 252Us, maybe realizing, okay, this is north spawn, not south. So they wanted the 252Us to take the B base. T5042 drops the center like A. Pretty much the same lineup I think that we saw them play Kraken on previously. And here we go, game 5. If Prevail's been watching the stream, they know what EXE are going to do, probably. So maybe they'll have some sort of counter set up. They weren't playing in that first set. They were just, you know, waiting and preparing for the second. So they had time to wait and watch, hopefully prepare a little bit. It looks like EXE is doing the same thing. The Shark is dropping down. The 252Us look like they're stepping B. Captain Squash and Dragon will spot each other. Does Squash get nuked here? Doesn't look like it. EXE's more focused on grabbing the B base. Fair enough. Dragon's going to have a tough time crossing here. He's going to do it, but he'll probably take hits here from Captain Squash. At least one does that, but I guess didn't take as much punishment as I expected Prevail to do. And Prevail actually pushing directly in with Skid. Oh no, he's taking a lot of damage though. And EXE did switch things up a bit by bringing these FE301s to the A corner. Don't think that they did last time. And Skid just pushing a little bit too far forward and gets picked off. EXE's got huge punishes in. Seabus gets a little stuck here now. That Shark is going to be putting in a shot of damage there. Those FE301s can clean up. Goshira with the kill. Not quite. But Seabiscuit is going to go down to either to Dragon, Goshira, or Raul. It's going to be Seabiscuit. And that's just a 7v5 now for Team EXE. They're looking absolutely poised to take this one. Prevail's taking their time counter pushing around towards B, but all EXE has to do here is drop in. They've got Mr. Captain Squash here. Isolated completely. There's no support whatsoever from the rest of the Prevail team. He is going to go down quickly. KOA and Kaposha will hold off the counter push from Prevail. And it's taken Prevail their time to get those kills. They might be able to pick them off here, but unfortunately, they've still got 5 more tanks to chew through once they get those 2 out of the way. And they actually lose Stirp. It was a 3v2 in the center, but they lose Stirp. Unfortunate. Their focus fire could use a little bit of work here. Clydeheim trying to 1v1 Goshira, but unfortunately not doing the most to support the team right now. Everyone else is dying in the center. They do pick up Kaposha, so they got a kill. Can't complain too much, I suppose. Lifty's looking towards Dragon, but Saul's got his rear. It's the kill. Goss is next to fall. Right now it's just Clydeheim alone against 6. He's been trying to hold off Goshira the whole time, but you know, EXE does not mind that at all. They are more than willing to trade one tank to hold on one when they have 5 more to do other things with, so. Game number 5 going to EXE as well. They've got amazing momentum heading into the grand finals here, and Prevail, they just weren't ready for this. They were not ready at all. They tried to send in Skid to counter the early push from Dragon, but just forgot to account for the fact that he's pushing through the open. You know, these double 301s are absolutely farming Clydeheim at the end. EXE are now just 1 game away from taking the tournament. The number 2 overall seed, I believe, for the tournament. Against Prevail, which I believe was the number 3, so. Both are solid teams, of course, but EXE is just proving to be almost unbeatable now. And just like that, we are 1 game away if EXE can win it. Prevail wins, they'll still have opportunities to bring it back, but it's going to be very difficult because after this, we still have to get through New Bay and then Hellas as the tiebreaker. But all of that might not even happen if they can't win this next one on Canal. So they've still got 4 games to win if they want a nice prize at the end. 2,500 gold per player to the winning team, courtesy of Wargaming, sponsoring the tournament. Very generous. But yeah, 6th game, potentially the last. And what does Prevail line up with? Double T-77 in a Defender Mark 1. Some unique stuff. They're getting rid of the Emil potentially. It hasn't been working out too well for them today, I must say. Grand Finals, yes, this is it. This is the last set. EXE's keeping it simple. Lots of 53s, a Shark, and FE301s. They're not going to be running double Shark this time. I believe last time on this map they pushed double Shark through A, but this time only one. But he might just be doing the same thing, you know, it's just working out well for EXE. Waterlogged is going to be driving towards the D base. Maybe grab a free base for them. EXE is indeed sending their FEs to A. We are seeing the double cap on the base B for Prevail, but actually does get reset there. One of those FE301s hit in a nice reset shot. So we saw EXE take this base without problem on the other spawn, but Prevail not able to take it. They're actually going to back out. They'll grab D, but it's not going to be in time as we're seeing a double cap from EXE on A, and they've completely taken this side of the map, so they will have the base lead. B and C are still up for grabs, but they're not quite as easy to grab. Gepito, you look from his position here. If you try to step on it, you've got General Goss there. You got plenty of opportunity for tanks to go for resets. And if you're in C, similar, like looking at what Skid's trying to do, right? You've got Goshira, KOA, Raoul back there as well, and just lots of opportunities for resets on these bases. Looks like EXE might be able to get away with it anyway, though. I was not expecting this. Goss is lit. Not able to get the reset, though. I believe EXE might end up just taking this base. Either way, yeah, Squash not able to reset either. He's taking a hit. And yeah, EXE is just looking incredible right now. Just looking at the HP, right? If you look on the left side, Gepito's taking a singular hit. Looks like KOA has as well. He's setting up a sneaky defense on C. For Prevail, they're taking lots of damage. Captain Squash in particular. And yeah, this is looking more and more difficult by the second here for Prevail. The cap points are only going to keep ticking up in the favor of EXE. It's only 3 tick, so it's going to take a little bit of time before they're forced to make a push, but you know, there's still a lot of work that they have to do. And Waterlogged is getting into a forward position. KOA might have a shot if he pushes too far forward, and then if he drives back too far, Sol has shots as well. And EXE just has a very nice defense set up. All these 53s, Shark as well. Just a lot of armor to chew through. Seabiscuit does put a nice couple shots into Kaposh just so. Bleeds are being brought back. The HP is actually close to even right now. But even still, right, it's going to take a lot of effort for Prevail to push through this. They are going to try stepping C. I think they will grab it now. I don't think EXE has any way of spotting it, but we do see a blind reset from Dragon. Great shot there into Stirp, who does get tracked. You can see his track is damaged here. EXE still putting shots in. They're not quite going through, though. They're just flying. Shields are flying. Ooh, that one barely missing. So Prevail does have their second base. At least the cap differential is not growing. But, oh, big shots into Lifty trying to drive through the center there. Koshira, Dragon, and whoever else is that. Is that Raoul? Yeah. Huge shots in. Prevail is now down over 1,500. And while, yes, they have stopped the caps from bleeding, it's still, you know, a matter of stopping EXE from getting to 1,000 here. They're at 700. Some move needs to be made. Looks like Prevail is going to try pushing through C into Kapushta and Sol, which they will find a little bit less resistance than on the other side, but even then, KOA is going to have cross shots. Dragon's going to have cross shots. Raoul will certainly rotate, or maybe even push through in the center, where Lifty is only on 425 hit points. A slightly above average roll from the 53 will kill it. Now anything will kill it, other than another FE3 a one-shot, but this last one might be enough to do it. Will they sneak it in? No. Lifty gets back just in time, but he's on 100 HP. And what do you do here if you're Prevail? It looks like the answer is push into Kaposh to give it your all. One last hurrah, but will it be enough? They're going to have to clutch up. It's nothing short of a miracle here to take it. Waterlogged Seabiscuit driving in with a defender will be some good clip damage, but huge shots into Goss. Stirp getting bled out. Goss is now on 2 HP. He falls. Lifty's only on 100. He's not able to get himself into the fight. Those FE301s looking monsters from the back with their DPM. Lifty does get picked off by Saul from afar. 960 points here. Clydehebe's going to try to step into B. He will go down momentarily, and just like that, EXE winning Grand Finals 5-1. Absolute masterclass gameplay from them, showing that you don't need to take all these crazy tanks. You just pick something simple, right? You've got your 53 TPs, you've got your Sharks, you've got your FE301s. It's all you need, right? There's a couple nice, solid tanks, some 252Us as well, you know, for maps that require pushing, but when you're holding, it seems that they like the Shark. Yeah, keeping it simple, and it worked out well for them. Congrats to EXE, your champions for the Tier 8 Summer Bash, or Summer Smash, actually. The Tier 9 Winter Bash happened in the winter, but this is the Summer Smash. You gotta have that alliteration here. But yeah, GG's, congrats to both teams. Unfortunately, Prevail in second place is not going to have any prizing, but all of the EXE players will be enjoying 2,500 gold per player. So, good stuff from them. Congrats on the dub. And yeah, just like that, I think that is the end of the tournament. Let me go ahead. I think Copenhagen wanted to join the chat and say a few words. He said he's tidying up in the server. You ready to go shortly? Okay, cool. He wanted to join VC and talk a little bit on stream, so we'll have him in for that. And there is something he wanted to talk about, so we'll let him in shortly. So we'll get that set up. Give me one moment. But whenever Copenhagen is ready, we'll bring him in. Congrats again to EXE. That was a very nicely played set. This was the least close set that we've watched all tournament long, actually, which is crazy enough that it was the grand finals, right? All of the stuff leading up to this, mostly tiebreakers or, you know, 2-game differences. This was the most dominant set by any team. So good stuff from EXE. Taking it undefeated as well. Really well done. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed the tournament today. We still have one more thing to do before we wrap up the stream. And yeah, Copenhagen, who was the tournament organizer, wanted to say a few words. So let me go give him a call. One moment. Hello, hello.
Hey, 34, how's it going?
Doing well. How are you? Looks like you're audible this time. I'm not going to mute you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, gotta think about it ahead of time. But yeah, awesome tournament. Went well today. Yesterday as well. Extremely close set. So whoever seeded that tournament did a great job.
Absolutely. He did. I agree.
Yes, but yeah, a lot of fun. hopefully everyone enjoyed it. And yeah, I know you had some words to say, so I'm gonna give you the mic. Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, thanks so much. Obviously I just want to thank Wargaming and everyone who was in charge of that decision. Huge thing I feel for them to trust us as tourney hosts and put this on with that prize pool. So thank you so much to them. And obviously the whole thing is for the teams, right? So everyone who signed up, all the clans, really appreciate them coming out and giving the event its purpose.
For sure.
And then obviously yourself for helping us out too, mainly with the seating, but you always give us feedback for these kinds of events and what you think, so I appreciate that as well. But yeah, it was really awesome, and I personally love the tier 8 stuff. That's where I started. I did it for a long time with some of the players from our team that played. I still played with them a long time ago. But yeah, I really like it because so many tanks and stuff that you see. So
yeah, I agree. I got pinged on the official server as well. People are like, yeah, I like the tier 8. There's a lot more variety. Tier 10, the meta's very well defined. Not that many good tanks, but in tier 8, there's just so many good tanks that you see a lot of interesting new stuff. You never really know what to expect. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and people say like, oh, the T-77 is broken. You're gonna see that everywhere. Oh, the 53 is so broken, and maybe like they're so good by themselves, but for some reason it's just there's so many tanks that you can use. And so I really like the variety, and I just like the different stuff, and I know you said that too. So yeah, it was awesome. But I do have a question real quick. Did you have a favorite set? Because admittedly I didn't get to watch a whole lot tonight.
Favorite set? I'm not 100% sure about that. I mean, yeah, I couldn't think of a certain one in particular. I just thought, it was really cool how yesterday I think I watched 6 sets and 4 of them went to tiebreaker. And the other ones were decided by just like 2 games, I think, instead of just 1. So I can't name a single one. I've just watched so many of them that I can't really remember all of them that clearly. But I think that, overall it was just really fun how all the teams were really close and it was very competitive. So keeping it as like invite only just to kind of make things more balanced was a good decision, I think, for something of this nature. So it was good.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I did just want to quickly clarify too. It wasn't that anybody wasn't allowed to like join this. We were just looking for that competitive factor, And on the 30th, July 30th, it was open to the entire player base. But we only had 2 clans reach out with full rosters. And they came in. CCRS and Y-Wing were the only 2 to send rosters. So
gotcha. Yeah, thanks for clarifying that.
But yeah, yeah, of course. I love the competitiveness and it was awesome. And then you don't see tier 8 teams come together too often. It's a bit more sparse, which makes sense. Tier 10 is really exciting, right? But if you're able, that image I sent you, the logo.
Yeah, let's pull it up right now. Got it.
Thank you.
New announcement from Copenhagen, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna start a tier 8 scrim server. So there's a tier 10 scrim server, and disclaimer, I am 100% taking inspiration from their format. But we just want to see if we can promote some regular competition between tier 8 teams. So I'm pretty much making it public right now. I haven't really told anybody else other than a couple people who are helping me with it. And of course, Aluni, the artist, one of our clan members, she put it together, this logo, while the tournament was going on. So
wow, that looks really good. Yeah, it's hand drawn. That's nice. Good job to Aluni.
Thank you to her. Yeah, thank you to her so much for that. But yeah, anyway, all these teams are going to be invited, obviously, if they want to make use of it. And anyone around the game, if you just want to have some scrimmages at tier 8, that's what we're hoping to do with that.
So yeah, if anyone is interested, I'm going to throw the link in the chat by the time you guys see this, so make sure to join. If you guys are not aware, there is a scrim server for tier 10 where any team can go represent themselves and just find an opportunity to match against other teams, to set up a casual scrimmage, usually just in the evenings between 2 teams. You just schedule it ahead of time, and so this is kind of like a good opportunity for teams to do that for tier 8 as well, because normally it's just limited to tier 10, but it's a good opportunity for more variety. So very nicely done. Excited to see how it turns out, and good to always have more opportunities for competitive play. So thank you for setting all this up.
Yeah, and thank you for yeah, all the help and covering. So yeah, thanks for all that. Let me share all that, and that's it from me. Lastly, I just want to thank you, our refs. The refs made everything possible, of course, as well.
Absolutely.
And then the final thing is some of our deputies in the clan. We've done 3 of these events now. We did the Winter Bash, the SIGYN community, or excuse me, the Spring finals. And you played in that one.
I did, yes. It was
and
fun.
then there was this one, but we only got the prior experience because of some people in our own clan putting up their own wallets for the prizes. And so yeah, all the experience we have, us being able to earn that trust from wargaming, is directly because of them. They made the prizes possible to get the experience to earn that trust from wargaming. So yeah, I'm really humbled that it wasn't a solo venture. A lot of people came together to make all this possible.
Yeah,
so, yeah
100%. Not a one-man show. You know, you're the front man, but there's a lot of people involved. So yeah, shout out to all the refs. Yeah, good stuff. Looking forward to seeing what you got cooking up next. Of course, I'm sure this Tier 8 Scrim server is going to take up a lot of your time, but you know, whenever you organize this stuff, you know, it's going to get a good following. You've proven yourself here with these past few tournaments that, you know, you can put on a good event. So hopefully we'll see more stuff like it in the future.
Absolutely. Future plans. Absolutely. We will have them.
Good stuff. Well, yeah. Thanks again for running this. I'll let you go if you don't have anything else to say, but yeah, went well today, yesterday, about as good as anyone could have expected, really, in terms of competition level. So yeah, good stuff, man. You should be proud.
Thank you, 34. I appreciate it. And thanks for the coverage again.
Absolutely. Take it easy now.
You too. Bye.
Yep, take care. There we go, guys. That was it. The NA Tier 8 Summer Smash, run by Copenhagen, the SIGYN League, and all the other refs involved. I suppose not everyone's in the SIGYN League, so I shouldn't just limit my thanks to that group of people, but there's like a whole, you know, a lot of people that helped to ref and stuff like that. So good stuff for everyone involved. It's been a good experience, and I hope that you were all enjoying the games. Hopefully you guys maybe are encouraged to participate in the future, because we'd always love to see more competition amongst everyone, right? We're trying to, you know, bring some more excitement into the competitive community, right? So this is a great way of doing it. Copenhagen always does a good job at putting things together cleanly. And yeah, that's about it. So I think with all that said, we're going to go ahead and call it here. I'm going to go ahead, I suppose, and yeah, I'll call it. My voice is starting to die a little bit. We'll take a drink. But we'll go ahead and start the raid right about now. So I don't know who I'm raiding it on Twitch, but go check out whoever I'm sending the viewers to. And yeah, if you're on YouTube, hope that you enjoyed as well. We'll catch you guys later. I don't know when my next stream is going to be. I'm kind of limiting most of my streams to just tournament coverage at this point. Don't really do much gameplay streams as is, but you know, you never know. Sometimes things might happen. We'll see, I suppose. But at the moment, nothing planned. Maybe we'll see y'all next season. But yeah, until then, I guess we'll do our normal outro. So as always, stay safe. Happy tanking.